Hello everybody and welcome back to Odin's Movie Blog. I am the critic who is a cynic. Hope you're doing well, and today we're talking about Disney once again. This time we got some interesting news because a Disney heiress, Abigail Disney, so one of the relatives of Walt Disney himself, went undercover recently at one of the theme parks and said that it was unbelievable the conditions that workers had to live in. As it says here, she was livid about worker conditions. And to me, this just continues to add on as to why Disney is really a bad organization and why we should not support it in any way whatsoever, whether it's going to the theme parks, whether it's buying the movies, no matter what it is. Because Disney obviously has a lot of problems, has a lot of skeletons in their closet. And it looks like even one of their own, the heiress of Walt Disney herself, is calling them out for this nonsense. Now, of course, she's taking it from a very different perspective. I'm not going to say that Abigail Disney is a fandom menace type because I don't think she would have the same type of complaints about the movies necessarily. She's taking this specifically from a workers' right perspective. But I do think it does add to this discussion that we've been having on this channel specifically about what do we do about Disney. Some people say it's too big. We can't possibly make an impact. Well, if you have the thought like that, well then yeah, you won't make an impact because with anything, any movement, any idea, any ideology, if you think, oh, we're not going to do anything, then nothing is going to happen. But if you instead say, no, I'm going to put my foot down and I'm going to tell people why I'm doing it, and hopefully maybe other people will be able to join me in these efforts, it is only then that anything can actually be done about it. And that's why I'm saying this for the Disney movies currently going on, because not only do we have them just being very hypocritical. These are the same people that are putting money towards politicians that would much rather try to buy votes and much rather try to plead and act like they're going to help workers out. And in the end, they're going to abuse the workers themselves, that we see here, by the fact that they get underpaid and the fact that you have a Disney CEO getting $65 million. And Disney makes this, Abigail Disney makes a point saying that he could have used the bonus, I think, of his salary, just the bonus from his salary, and could have given a large amount of money to the people working in their parks to help them not be able to be mistreated in this way. Now, of course, we can have a debate over workers' rights, over these various things about what the rights of private corporations have when it comes to paying and treatment of their workers. And that's obviously a debate we can have, a discussion that we can have even. But I think that this does speak to a much larger issue here, which is that Disney is hypocritical, that Disney does not care about what really matters, and they would much rather continue to do things like this and mistreat workers, but also in their movies, they would much rather just regurgitate the same nonsense, regurgitate the same hypocritical garbage that they're trying to spew, all of the identity politics and SJWisms that they're trying to put into their movies now. They don't care that people don't like it. They don't care because they would rather be responsible for social engineering, trying to make people think a certain way or to treat people a certain way because they don't agree with them politically, calling people racist and sexist and all these other things. They would much rather that discussion be happening than actually do anything themselves to try and help those people who are actually underneath them. This is not even just Disney not helping out the world, not helping out the local community by, donating to various things. This is Disney not even taking care of their own employees, of their own workers. And so if you can't even take care of your own employees, then why in the hell would you take care of anyone else? Why in the hell would we believe that you're going to, we're going to make things better and we're going to listen to the fans, etc.? Well, obviously we know that's not true because you can't even take care of your own workers, so why would you be able to do that? And it really just helps us to hopefully understand from an even deeper perspective why Disney is an evil corporation. And I don't use that term lightly. There's a lot of evil corporations out there, but Disney is easily one of them. And the reason why Disney sucks and why it sucks that Disney, Disney does suck, but why it sucks that Disney is being put into this category now, especially now more than ever, is that Disney has always been seen as being the good guys, has always been seen as that good corporation, making good family-oriented content, being focused on trying to make people happy and trying to improve the people's lives. But now they've exposed not only to be hypocrites, but also they're guilty of social engineering. With the very fact that they've had the recent casting announcements, they knew that those castings would get people talking, and they knew because they spoke out through their own account, through Freeform, that they would be able to call anyone that was being critical of the Little Mermaid casting, being critical of Mulan's story changes, being critical of anything that Disney decides to do, they would be able to say, oh, well, these are just a bunch of, racist and sexist, and their sexism and racism that's been hidden in them for so long, their entire lives, is now finally coming out because we know, as Disney, we know that everyone only has an issue because of the color of the skin and not because of the double-handed nature of our company and not because of the hypocrisy of our company and also not because of the double standard that exists in Hollywood in general. This is the reason why we need to step up. This is the reason why we need to say no to Disney. And I've seen a lot of people in the comments, most people in the comments saying, hey, I've been doing this already since they ruined Star Wars, or hey, I've been doing this for a long time. For anyone that's still on the fence with this, if things like this of the mistreatment of workers does not get you on board with understanding that this is an evil corporation that needs to not be given our money, I don't really know what else will. I mean, obviously, I can't force you to do anything. I can't try and do anything else other than try and get my plea out there, try and get my word out there, and hopefully wake some people up to the reality that Disney needs to start being put down a peg. Now, whether that means that we try and help them lose money and eventually fire certain people, etc., get better people in charge, that could easily be a way that things could get fixed. Are they too big to fail? Are they too big to be able to be taken down a peg? I don't think so. No corporation is. Think about some of the biggest companies and corporations that existed 20 years ago. Are most of them still around? Are most of them even still there? There are many places that have gone under, have been bought up by other people, or are just not the same as they once were. Any company, any corporation, any entity can eventually be taken down a peg if indeed people start to stand up against it. And these are the types of things, these types of stories that are coming out from even Abigail Disney herself, who I'm guaranteeing you is someone that I probably would disagree with on most issues politically. Even she's able to understand that there's something going wrong with Disney, not just with how they treat their workers, not just by the fact that you have this fight happen and they try to sweep it under the rug, act like it never happens because of wokeness and and all the other things that they've done. I'm sure that most of us can come together and say, okay, Disney is undergoing some really bad stuff right now. Disney is not doing things the way they should. They don't care about the fans. They don't care about their guests. They don't care about their own workers. And it's time for us to do something about it. So I ask you to join me in the boycott of Disney. Yes, will it be hard? Yes, will you have to resist certain things that maybe you once were able to participate in? Absolutely. But it's time that we start to show Disney that we will not speak up for this. Support the movies that might actually have good messaging. Support the movies that might actually do something good, or just outright ban, rather just outright boycott them entirely. And I think that that's definitely a place that most people are going to fall into, and I fully support that. But obviously there's people like me who are also still giant fans of things like Alita Battle Angel and want that to have a sequel and want that to continue to move forward. And we're stuck in this rock and a hard place because the money that we give is going to go to Disney in the long run. And so that's why I say, however it is you do it, whether you just stop seeing the movies in theaters, whether you invest in a Fire Stick TV, allegedly, to watch certain content, so that way you can still watch it and talk about it, but not necessarily have to give Disney a dime of your money, allegedly, of course. And again, if you want to buy a Fire Stick for $15 or $25, you can check out the links in the below. But honestly, I think that that's a good way in which to, to have your own personal boycott. All that being said, though, it's time that we step up. It's time that we do something about it, because I want movies to be better. I want movies to be free of this identitarian nonsense. I want it to be free of politics, and I want these idiots running the top of the company to stop having so much power that they not only try and social engineer through their products, through their movies, and through their theme parks, etc., but also so that they stop having power to influence our country and influence our elections and influence various things that they should have no business being a part of. But anyway, guys, what are y'all's thoughts about this? Are you sick and tired of Disney at this point? Obviously, Abigail Disney is thinking that things are going pretty wrong. Going after the Disney CEO Bob Iger himself. That's Bob Iger on the big screen, one of the guys that's responsible for bringing Kathleen Kennedy in to ruin Star Wars and do so many other things and make so many other decisions that have really ruined a lot of IPs in the movie world industry. It's time for us to make a stand, to do something about it, and it all starts here. It all starts with us saying, screw you guys, I'm holding on to my money. Let me know your thoughts about all of this in the comments below. Also, guys, if you like this video, smash the like button, give me a thumbs up, give me a subscribe. It helps me out a lot. You are all amazing and beautiful people. Have a wonderful day, and as always, God bless.